Morning, everyone. We're going to just take a moment for folks to have a chance to log in, and we'll get started shortly. All right. Well, it looks like we'll have a small group today. So definitely ample time to answer any questions that you have throughout the presentation. My name is Street. I am our interim specialist for education and inclusion initiatives at the University of Wisconsin-Madison Office of Admissions and Recruitment. And with me today, I have our colleague Sally, and definitely allow you a moment to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Sally, and I am an admissions counselor here with just like Street. And I mainly recruit in the territory of the city of Chicago. So I'm also an alumna of UW-Madison. So if you have any questions regarding that, you can also feel free to ask them in the Q&A chat.
So with the presentation today, I'll be covering the content. If you have questions throughout, feel free to use the Q&A chat feature at the bottom of your screen. Kitsali will be in the background answering those if you have any in the moment, but we'll also have time after to answer any questions that you have. And at that point, you can use the chat feature, or if you want to turn on your video and ask questions too, that's perfectly okay. We'll do that at the end of the presentation. So definitely feel free to use either or. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started in our Set for Success program. And we'll really touch on just really the benefits of college, why pursue a college education, and opportunities throughout high school you can take to prepare now, no matter what grade level you might be in. So for our content today, a little bit about those benefits of pursuing a college education. We'll touch a little bit on the outcomes for college graduates, what you can expect, opportunities that present themselves when earning a college degree. We'll talk a bit, like I had mentioned, about that preparation at each level, diving a little bit into academics, involvement, ways to really enhance and make yourself well-rounded. By the time you're preparing to apply to college, you'll have that strong foundation and confidence in where you want to go, and ultimately, ideally, which college is the best fit for you. And then we'll touch on a little bit throughout the presentation, but towards the end as well, on resources to explore your options early on in high school. So diving right in, for the benefits of pursuing a college education, it's really a great space to expand your professional opportunities. When you're going to college, you might think, I have a major in mind, or maybe there's a couple things I'd like to explore, and you're mostly focused on your academics. Well, with college now, it's a really well-rounded experience, especially if you go to an institution that prioritizes the student's academic, personal, and professional development, where you'll be able to become a specialist in your field, an area that you're passionate about, ideally, and really gain those critical skills of new innovation, new development, new knowledge within that field, as well as ideally hands-on experiences and opportunities that give you a cutting edge in preparation for whatever professional pathway you might take after graduation. One thing to keep in mind is no matter what you major in college, just simply having a college degree can really open a lot of doors and opportunities for you, as a lot of professional opportunities do require a minimum of either an associate's or a bachelor's degree, depending on which field you might go into. So it's something to keep in mind in the breadth and depth of opportunities that are available to you. You can definitely go into a field that's not just your major. That's often a misconception. So rather you decide you're going to major in English, art, biology, computer science, no matter what it is, simply having that foundational degree will open a lot of professional pathways for you to explore post-graduation. With those enhanced opportunities professionally, there's usually an increase of job security and benefits. So being able to maintain a consistent work schedule, opportunities to grow professionally within that field, as well as additional benefits, whether that's bonuses, healthcare, or opportunities to explore, whether that's through travel, professional development engagements, Depending on what job you take, there's an increased level of those opportunities to continually advance, as well as take advantage of additional benefits and opportunities that come with those professional pathways that usually require a bachelor's degree in foundation. College is also a great space to gain new skills and expertise in the field. So whether you have an area of interest that you might have in mind, a particular major maybe you would take on, you can definitely take on more than one major in college, but it's perfectly okay if you don't know what you want to do yet. College is a great space to really explore your options, consider what you're passionate about, and really pursue academic courses in areas that you want to grow your knowledge in, your expertise in, and really be able to make a positive impact within that field. So that foundation will really give you space to really flex your skills in a wide range of ways, rather that's academic, your leadership skills, being able to present comfortably in front of an audience, really thinking critically in new and dynamic ways, and really connecting with others with perspectives that will expand your worldview as well. So really gaining those skills across your experience in college through your academics, through your hands-on experience and your engagements outside of the classroom really allow you to create this foundational area of expertise where you're diving into your professional pathway with new updated knowledge, new opportunities to explore, and bringing that to whichever professional space you walk into. So really a great space to own an area that you're passionate about and really find those pathways that inspire you and really drive you to be creative and innovative no matter where you land post-graduation. Touched on this a little bit already, but building connections and expanding your worldview is a high key part of the college experience. Whether it's your discussion sections in your classes, connecting with your faculty and staff members who are experts in their own areas, maybe studying abroad or trying different organizations or opportunities. All of this is going to allow you spaces to meet new people, try new things that you never envisioned yourself, really falling in love with and enjoying. Each one of those connections and opportunities is a new space for you to be able to learn something different outside of what you grew up around, what your normal is, what your comfortable is, and really try something different. This will really allow you to expand your worldview, be more competitive in the job market as you're able to work with a wide variety of different people, different types of skills and applications of those skills. So it's a great space, again, to really grow holistically as a person and really be able to gain those critical skills across the board, both in and outside of the classroom. And then most colleges will have ample resources and opportunities outside of your academics alone to really take some time to think about your growth in those key areas of academic, personal, and professional development. When you go to college, typically individuals will think they'll have a major, but there's definitely different subsections of those majors, specialty pathways you can take. Maybe you want to dive into research potentially, where you can be a part of those who are developing new innovations within that respective field. There's definitely areas to grow personally as well. Workshops to really help you get to know yourself, get to know the world around you, how you relate to others that are both similar and different from yourself. Wellness workshops to really take care of yourself and ground yourself in your values and what is important to you. Even financial wellness workshops, how to budget and take care of your finances through college and post-graduation. Most colleges will provide a lot of opportunities for you to grow personally outside of just your academics. And then additionally, professional growth. A lot of your college experience isn't just doing well in classes or pursuing that academic component. It's really building those skills and building your resume throughout that collegiate experience, where you're graduating with confidence, a strong resume, and the skills you need to thrive in your professional pathways. At different schools and colleges, usually there's a career service and advising center or a mentor or coach who can help you navigate resumes, cover letters, how to do a strong interview, how to network, all of these things that are really great resources and tools that'll benefit you when you're pursuing your professional pathways and really get you started out on a strong level of confidence and direction, whichever pathway you choose post-graduation. If you don't know what that looks like, even throughout your college experience, they'll help you figure out what doors might be available for you to walk through and explore, or different areas that you might not have considered. So really figuring out what you can do with your college degree. All of these will really help you shape, again, a strong foundation to grow as an individual and really be dynamic and holistic in that development. To supplement a little bit about those benefits, some key stats here to just highlight some outcomes for college graduates. About 60% of all jobs in our economy in the United States do require some level of post-secondary education and training beyond high school. So again, there's so many more doors that open up for you when you do get a associate's degree, but even more so a bachelor's degree. Where individuals, regardless of what your major is, can't emphasize this enough, will have so many more opportunities simply because you have a bachelor's degree, where you have a college level of training and application of that expertise. So being able to access a wide variety of fields and disciplines, it makes it a lot easier to explore all of your options post-graduation in your professional pathways. But it also makes it a lot easier to switch if you decide that, your first job, you don't love it, it's not inspiring, it's not speaking to you. You simply by having that degree are going to have a lot more opportunities to explore a wide range of fields and pathways. So it really does give you some flexibility as no matter what your major is, you're getting that universal training in those skills and development, critical thinking, being able to speak and connect with others in a wide variety of ways. All of those skills come with your undergraduate degree, regardless of your major. So that dynamic preparation will help you navigate your professional pathway with more opportunities and ideally more confidence in your skills since you are practicing those and applying those throughout your college experience. Typically, college graduates do earn more than high school graduates as well. You'll often see an increase of opportunities for salaried positions, positions that pay higher. So being able to have, again, that strong foundation just initially is often a minimum requirement for a lot of job opportunities. You can still go into job opportunities that may or may not have that requirement, but it does, again, open up a wide variety of pathways for different levels of paying or different levels of pay opportunities and really being able to expand your growth professionally as well as your income and financial wellness into your adulthood and your experiences throughout your professional career and life as a whole. A little bit in this third stat on just the level of benefits that come with different degrees of education. Different employees provide different varied levels of health insurance. Health insurance is key for mitigating a lot of expenses as you move through your life throughout your professional pathway. And being able to have employers that provide a wide variety of benefits can really be beneficial to you outside of just your professional experiences, providing that healthcare, providing those additional bonuses or opportunities to grow professionally. But with that health insurance, the more education you acquire, typically you see more opportunities for increased benefits and benefits that cover more for you in areas outside of just your everyday pay for that position. And then overall, majority of hiring managers do feel that college graduates have strong desirable skills in a wide variety of facets and ways, which you'll see reflected in a lot of job postings and descriptions where that minimum requirement of a bachelor's degree or potentially an associate's degree, where job employers do feel that that college education provides you with a dynamic foundation and skills, both inside and outside of your major to contribute to their workforce in innovative ways. Some of those skills are on the slide, but these are all things that hiring managers are typically looking for and feel that they can find in college graduates. So again, opening up more doors and opportunities. These are just a few stats, but definitely feel free to poke around either through a Google search or other resources to just think about different outcomes, pathways, where you might want to go. It's okay if you have no idea right now. That's the whole point of this is beginning that exploration process, thinking about where you might want to be after high school, where you want to be after your college experience if you go on to college. All of these are different opportunities for you to pursue, to just really thinking about where you want to be when you go into your 20s or even 30s. I know that feels far out, but all of those things, these are opportunities that will set you up for success, to really grow dynamically and just take advantage of opportunities to fall in love with what inspires you and pursue professional pathways in those areas. So I'll dive a little bit into what you can do now throughout high school to prepare for college and really have that strong foundation and application no matter what school you're going to apply to. So the biggest thing out front is maintaining good grades throughout high school. Can't stress this enough. This is going to be the point in your academic career where your grades really do count and matter. Transitioning from middle school into high school can be a rocky start for a lot of individuals. It's perfectly okay if it feels a little new, fresh, you're not sure how to find your footing. That's a very common experience in grade 9 or your first year in high school. But definitely work with your teachers if you're struggling in any areas, or ask questions if you're not sure. Really, this is a great space to learn how you learn, get a sense of how do you take in knowledge, how do you retain information. Maybe you're more of a visual learner, somebody who memorizes well, somebody who has to talk through what they're learning in the classroom. No matter what it is, figuring out how you learn or how you engage with information best is really going to set you up for success throughout high school, but also as you move into your college experience to get a sense of how you learn and how you really engage with the material best. Along with that is practicing and learning different study skills, time management, building out a planner, how to keep all of your responsibilities and duties academically, but also outside of the classroom, organized, being able to reach all of those different goals you might have or projects and deadlines that you might have, really being able to build those skills and that confidence in navigating everything that comes with your high school experience, as it usually builds and grows throughout high school. And then going into college, really having a strong sense of self-organization, how to study, and again, how you learn will set you up for a strong foundation and success. It's a great opportunity at the beginning of high school to explore your extracurriculars. This can look different for everybody. Maybe there is a sport you want to try or you're already involved in. Perhaps there's an artistic talent that you want to hone in on and really grow throughout your high school experience. Other extracurricular involvement opportunities in your high school through student organizations. Maybe you start working a job and getting that professional experience, being able to go within that field as well as an additional income. Or maybe you have family commitments where you're helping younger siblings, supporting older family members, or supporting your parents or guardians. No matter what that looks like, really thinking of ways you can contribute outside of your academics will help grow not only your skills outside of the classroom, but really build connections, really see what you're capable of and what you're interested in. So no matter what that looks like, these are all great ways that you can start building that level of responsibility, really grow in your sense of your own skill sets and leadership within those respective areas. And in your first year, it's a great time to just sample things that you might want to try that are new. And if you don't like them, it's okay. You can always switch into a new student organization. You're early in your high school experience to take that opportunity to just see what's out there and find something that feels like a great fit. In your first year, it's also a great space to begin exploring your post-secondary options. College feels really far away at this point, but it's never too early to just think about it. Think about what's out there, maybe talk to family members or cousins or whoever it is that maybe went to college and just hear a little bit about their experience. Maybe talking with your teachers or mentors that you have about what college was like for them if they did go. Just getting a sense of what's out there, what experiences people had to just start getting your feet wet, begin learning a little bit about different institutions or maybe even academic areas you want to explore. This can really help you get a sense of what classes you might want to take throughout high school to begin dabbling in those areas of interest you might have. As well, in your first year, beginning to take practice tests for the ACT and SAT can really set you up for success for those examinations. There are free practice tests online and resources that are available to you, again, free that you don't have to pay for to help you get your feet wet with those examinations. When you do apply for college, there may be institutions that require an ACT or SAT, or there may be others that don't. Either way, content on the ACT and SAT will reflect things that you'll need to learn throughout high school. So it's definitely another study skill to practice, test taking and really just approaching examinations in different ways. So it doesn't hurt to do some practice tests early on to just familiarize yourself with it and really begin that practice within those test taking skills. And then outside of that, grade 9 is a perfect opportunity to explore pre-college programs. There are so many out there. No matter what state you're in, region of the country or world, there's a lot of opportunities to connect with professionals who work with students to help you prepare for college early on. A lot of these programs are free. They don't require any sort of financial commitment, but definitely do check into what's available within your respective area. Some common ones we do see here at UW-Madison include AVID. So this is built into the high school to really help students navigate their study skills, preparation, and foundations throughout high school. Upward Bound is a pretty popular program as well, where they do help students familiarize themselves with different college opportunities, do trips to different college campuses, connect with current students, and really explore what interests you most. College Possible is also another popular one in a wide variety of cities throughout the country. Similar to Upward Bound, they help you prepare for college throughout high school, build those study skills, build that strong foundation, as well as explore your options and have that mentorship and support. And then a popular one that we have in state here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison that we host is the People Program, where students do get opportunities to visit our campus, live on campus, and engage with our community throughout high school in preparation for college. So these are just 4 that we have listed here. There's so many out there. So I encourage you to check out what's available in your local community, connect with other students who are passionate about pursuing their academic opportunities post high school, and really take advantage of those resources to dive in deeper, get that mentorship and support, as well as potential funding opportunities that could come out of this for your college education as well. So definitely worth doing a little bit of research, diving in, and maybe finding a program that feels like the right fit for you. In your second year in high school, sophomore year, definitely a space to really dive a bit deeper into your post-secondary exploration. Maybe think about what kinds of colleges and schools are out there. We do have other programs that follow Set for Success that dive a little bit deeper in our Setting Sites program or Set to Apply, where we'll dive a little bit deeper into this as well. But this is a great space to talk about what kinds of colleges might be of interest to you. There are community colleges that do 2-year degrees or associate's degrees, different kinds of 4-year institutions that'll help you earn your bachelor's degree, anything from public to private, really understanding the nuances and differences of different schools and colleges that might help you best in serving towards where you want to go after your graduation of your collegiate experience. So really navigating what's out there, diving a little bit deeper and kind of honing in on what feels like maybe a good type of school or college for you, and really getting a sense of what speaks to you, inspires you, and really will ultimately get you where you want to go in your professional pathways. Sophomore year is a time to as well explore more challenging courses. Whether your school offers honors, advanced courses, maybe AP courses, advanced placement, or international baccalaureate, IB, maybe even dual enrollment courses through a local college. Whatever that looks like, this is a time to start getting your feet wet, maybe take a challenging course or two in an area that interests you a lot. This could be anything from social studies, science, math, foreign language, English. Really, if you're able to take 1 or 2 classes, really start getting your feet wet in those challenging courses to really prepare your skills and foundation in that area. And then when you do sign up for junior year, really think about diving into those more rigorous courses if your school offers them, AP, IB, or dual enrollment, as that'll help you be more competitive for your college applications, but challenge you further and have that strong preparation for college to really ramp up towards that college experience. If your school doesn't offer those, definitely don't worry too much about that. Most schools and colleges will look at what's available within your high school when you're applying, but there could be other opportunities to explore and dive into your interests outside of the classroom, whether that's online courses or engagements in the community within that field. All of these can show that you're exploring your interests, challenging yourself further. So really just thinking about what's out there and being able to expand further in the areas of interest you do have or you're thinking about considering after high school. This is also a great time to connect with teachers in your core classes. These are individuals who will be writing your letters of recommendation for college. It's great to start building that rapport early on and getting to know them, really having that opportunity for them to mentor you in your college preparation, sharing their experiences, getting to know what kind of pathways might be a really great fit for you, and really considering all that's out there. Your teachers can be a really great resource to help inspire you towards different degree programs or pathways maybe you've never even heard of. I know when I was in high school, I had no idea what most of the majors were when I was looking at colleges, but I knew I really liked a certain amount of things, working with people. I thought I wanted to maybe do something with writing, public speaking, all of those pieces. I had a loose idea, but being able to connect with my teachers really helped me think about different academic areas that could be a good fit, or even rigorous classes that would really help me grow in those areas that I was passionate about. So they're a great resource for you. So find your teachers that can help support you throughout that college process. And again, these are individuals who can speak to your academic growth and talents throughout high school. So really getting to know them early on will help them write more strong letters of recommendation for you later. And then again, a great time to continue that extracurricular involvement. If there's an area of foundation you took grade 9 that you loved, continue growing in those opportunities within that student organization, maybe the way you're supporting family members, contributing in different spaces in your local community, whatever that looks like, just really continuing that involvement. Or if there's things that you didn't love grade 9, you can always try something new and dive into something that inspires you even. For junior year, the college experience does begin to ramp up a little bit here. We do look and aim for folks to have a clear post-secondary plan. So this is the time junior year to really begin honing in on those specific schools that you might want to apply to in your senior year. So really getting a sense of what schools are out there, what schools are on your absolute favorites list, and then some that you consider. Really building out that college application list, the ones that you want to apply to most, that you can really envision yourself within that campus community. There's opportunities to explore campuses in different colleges around the country. If you're able to go to that physical campus space, that can be a great way to get a sense of yourself on campus, really envisioning yourself as a student, connecting with current students, and really being able to connect with that space that you'd be pursuing your education at. And if you're not able to visit in person, often schools and colleges do have virtual options as well, whether it's presentations like this, or information sessions, or even virtual campus tours, opportunities to connect with students in a virtual platform as well. Regardless of what's available to you, just really getting a sense of that school, exploring their website, connecting with an admissions counselor, current students, really to solidify that list and your confidence in those schools and colleges that most excite you and feel like a great fit for you in pursuing your academic areas of interest, and areas you feel really are going to help you grow dynamically and prepare you professionally post-graduation. Start thinking about your financing for college as well. Every student, no matter where you sit, we do encourage you to submit the free application for federal student aid if you're eligible. This is a free resource for funding opportunities federally for those that are eligible for the FAFSA. So by all means, start getting familiarized with that process now. Start thinking about scholarship opportunities. There's opportunities locally, nationally, even globally through different organizations. You can earn scholarships before your senior year, before you're applying for college. So consider taking some time early on to apply for scholarships that can activate once you do go to college, to really take the pressure off in your senior year. So you definitely can begin that exploration now, to think about scholarships you can earn early on. But again, start thinking about your budget planning and preparing financially for your college experience. Doing so early on can help you have a little bit more realistic picture of how you're going to navigate your college process, what funding opportunities are out there for you, and really be able to get the support and resources and ask questions early on from financial aid counselors at those specific schools and colleges, or other resources within your community. Now is the time also to dive in more challenging courses. So as I mentioned, AP courses, IB, dual enrollment, whatever that may look like at your respective high school, whatever courses they offer that are more rigorous, definitely do dive into those within your junior year. Think about courses maybe in subject areas that you haven't taken. So really having a robust, rigorous foundation across your core academic areas will make you more prepared to be competitive for college. You don't necessarily have to take rigor in every single core area, but the more core areas you touch on can help you be more competitive since you have that strong, rigorous foundation in all of your academic areas. Those cores typically include English, math, science, history, social studies, foreign language. So all of those areas, thinking about ways that you can challenge yourself and really ramp up for that college experience. At this point, it's good to continue again in your extracurriculars. If there's an area you've been pursuing grade 9 and 10, now's a great time to start taking on a little bit more leadership roles, opportunities to develop new initiatives, really shine in those areas that you're passionate about within your extracurricular involvement. And so give yourself that opportunity to really dive in and explore and enjoy fully every aspect of that area that you're involved in. And then this is the year typically students will take the ACT or SAT. At this point, if you've built your college list, you should know what schools and colleges on your list that may require an ACT or SAT. So definitely pay attention to their requirements for admission. It's a great space to know an idea of the ACT or SAT that you should take, or if they have any expectations of your outcome for that examination. So definitely something to keep in mind. There's also test optional schools or schools that don't require an examination. If you happen to end up with a college list that doesn't have it, you may not have to take the ACT or SAT. But if your school offers it for free or you have the opportunity to do so, it can help you prepare even just practicing for overall skills and test taking. But it's a great option to have if there are schools and colleges that do require that on their list. And then as you move into your senior year, this is truly college application season. So a lot has ramped up at this point, but ideally grade 9 through 11, you've done a lot to prepare. You've had your list already. You have a sense of where you want to apply and what requirements they have or materials. So you've thought about this already so that by the time your senior year happens, it doesn't feel as overwhelming. You have a clear goal, clear direction, clear schools and colleges that you're excited to apply to. You've done some research in advance. So ideally that will help this process be a lot more smooth and easier for you. A great tip that we have for you in your senior year is to create an organizational system for applying. So you created that list, highlight all of the deadlines for the schools and colleges that you're applying to. When are the materials due? They might have multiple application periods. Get a sense of what period is the best for you. Usually earlier application periods do increase opportunities for admission or highlight that you're deeply interested in that school or college. But again, just look at the nuances. Every school and college is a little bit different and find out ultimately what application deadline is best for you. So organize those out as well as all of the materials that you need to submit to each of those schools and colleges. Anything from your transcripts, letters of recommendation, extracurricular involvement, essays you may need to write. They do require a test score. Organizing all those components and the deadlines will help ensure that you've requested all of those materials right away. If you can, as soon as those applications open up for your schools and colleges on your list, it could be as soon as August or even in September, gather those materials early on to really help mitigate just the stress your senior year. Throughout your summer, you're able to build those materials up. You can request letters of recommendation by the end of your junior year. So your teachers can get that to you over the summer and you have that ready to go to submit to your schools and colleges. The sooner you request test scores or transcripts, the better. Those usually take the longest to get to schools and colleges. So you want to be sure everything is in their office before the deadline. That way you don't miss the deadline and you're still eligible to apply. Nothing worse than being able to not be able to apply to your favorite school because you missed that deadline. And so do keep those deadlines in mind and have those materials ready to go as soon as possible. And if you're able to get that done even before school starts, then you don't have to worry about it. You dive into your senior year, your college applications are good to go. You can check in with each school to make sure everything's there and just relax. And you don't have to juggle that with your classes. But even if you're in your, September, October part of your first semester, definitely you're going to have support and resources. Just gradually work at it and just work towards those deadlines. So organize that so it's a little bit easier for you. The FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, opens up October 1st every year. So no matter if you are currently in your first year of high school, second, third, it does open up October 1st every year. So this is the time that you should be working with your family to fill out that free application for federal student aid. Being able to enter your family information, your information, and they'll be able to give you a sense of what federal funding might be you might be eligible for. Anything from grants, scholarships are sometimes awarded through institutions through the FAFSA application process, or even loan opportunities, and really getting a sense of what loans could be the best for you to take out, as well as getting that loan counseling up front so you know ideally what you should take out, what is most important for you to do, and then maybe not needing to take out as many loans. So all of those components, good to consider upfront by submitting your FAFSA. Again, it opens up October 1st. Getting it in October to the respective schools and colleges you're applying to is in your best interest. You will need to submit that to every school and the college you're applying for. Usually you can just list off the schools and colleges and it'll send. With that, the sooner you submit, the better. Cannot emphasize this enough. There are funding opportunities that run out throughout the year. So federal funding grants, things that you don't have to pay back. The allocation moves throughout the year, but slowly that pot of money does dwindle. So the sooner you get that application in, the more likely you're going to have more funding opportunities. So if you can get it in right away in October, absolutely in your best interest. Different schools and colleges will have priority filing dates as well, where they're really letting you know, please do submit by this time to really just get all the age you're eligible for. If you do miss that window, definitely still submit your FAFSA, even if it's June before you're starting college, just submit it. There's still usually some funding out there, but again, that can dwindle throughout the year. So the sooner the better will be in your best interest. And then once you're in college, this is something you'll submit every single year. So again, every single year, if you're able to submit that in October, you use 2-year prior tax information. This will help ensure that you're getting as much funding for college and ideally funding you don't have to pay back. Search and apply for scholarships. If you've done some initial research in your sophomore year, junior year, maybe you've already applied for scholarships, maybe you've already earned a few. That would be awesome if you did. But of course, continue to apply. No matter what, there's no such thing as too much funding for college. So definitely apply for all of the scholarships, even the small awards, the big awards. You're going to miss all the shots you didn't take, and you'd be surprised how many students don't apply for scholarships. Sometimes there are scholarship committees who have 2 applicants and you have just a 50% chance. Be the student that does apply. Some do require essays, but you can recycle those essays and customize them to each scholarship application. So really just take some time. You have some downtime, spare time, just apply for a few scholarships. The more that you can earn, again, the more funding you have that you don't have to pay back. And then something to keep in mind is as you move into your college experience, do continue to apply for scholarships even when you're in college. A lot of students think, just in high school is the time to apply in my senior year and then don't touch any scholarships applications after that. Do keep applying for them. You can continue to earn funding throughout your college experience that you can apply. And again, money you don't have to pay back. When applying for scholarships, again, locally, nationally, globally, there's different national search criteria that you can look through to get a sense of what scholarships you might be eligible for. But the respective schools and colleges that you apply to as well will have their own scholarships. So definitely look into their process for scholarships, their deadlines, and do consider that within your college application list and organizational chart when you're applying for scholarships, again, so you can get all of the funding opportunities you're eligible for. Within your senior year, do keep those grades up. Again, most schools and colleges are going to look for strong grades throughout high school. If you had a rough year, they really want to see an upward grade trend to see that you've improved, you've taken on those challenges and grown academically. So definitely stay strong through your senior year. When you apply to schools and colleges, they do expect that your grades 9 through junior year, that you'll maintain that level of academic performance throughout your senior year. It's not always going to happen, but sometimes admissions decisions can be revoked if you decline significantly in your senior year grades. So do keep that in mind. If you do get an acceptance from a school or college, if you definitely dive off your last semester of senior year, you could potentially lose your admissions to that school or college. Nothing that any of us enjoy doing or nothing we want to see happen, but do keep those grades up. We do expect that you're going to have a similar level of performance throughout your high school experience. And of course, if any circumstances happen or challenges come across in your high school experience, do note those on your application just to give us some context to best support you. And then of course, stay involved in your extracurriculars that you're passionate about. Definitely a great space to again take on leadership roles, new initiative. This is your last year in these organizations you built such a strong relationship with. And connections with students within your areas of interest. So really enjoy all of those moments while you can throughout your senior year. And then you moving into spring, ideally you've applied to all of the schools on your college list, met those deadlines, have been in touch. And at this point, you'll begin receiving admissions decisions from your schools and colleges, hopefully admits in the schools that you're most excited about. But this will help you get a sense of what schools you're eligible to go to, given your admissions decision. So focus on your admits, get a sense of what school you want to say yes to if you have several. If you hadn't already, visit the schools if you're able to. If you were only able to maybe visit 1 or 2 and before your list was maybe 6 or 7 schools and that felt like a lot, maybe you finally narrowed down to 2 or 3. It could be worthwhile to visit that college campus and again envision yourself there and connect with the faculty, staff, and students. And if not, virtual still is an opportunity to really start beginning and exploring and envisioning yourselves there and getting a sense of what school you actually want to commit to. Do be sure to keep up with admitted student deadlines. Usually there is a time you will have to submit your enrollment deposit. May 1 is the typical deadline, but different schools and colleges may have other expectations. So do keep in mind when you do need to let them know if you're definitely going to come and keep up with those deadlines so you can be sure to transition smoothly into your college experience. Evaluate all of your financial aid packages. Usually around this time, you'll hear back from your free application for federal student aid or that FAFSA. Again, if you hadn't submitted it already, do submit it now. It'll take a little bit for you to get that award, so you won't be able to weigh that as much in your admissions decision, which is another benefit of submitting it earlier. But early in late winter, early spring, you'll be able to get that financial aid package to really just weigh the pros and cons of the cost, the funding you're getting, rather through scholarships, grants, other opportunities within that campus community, or the amount of loans you might need to take out. Really do think about all of those and weigh that into your decision of ultimately where you want to go for college. Usually, if you're going to live on campus, there is a housing deposit you'll have to submit. So if you want to live within the residence halls of that school or college, or you're exploring off-campus housing options, no matter what that is, do pay attention to those housing deposit deadlines to be sure that you've secured your place to live as you move into that college campus community. Or if you're going to attend a college close to home, maybe you're going to live from home, whatever that is, do weigh your options and get a sense of where you'll be residing as you move into your college experience. And then once you've secured where you want to go, you've submitted your enrollment deposit, begin to sign up for your orientation date. Schools and colleges will communicate all of your next steps as you begin that transition. And then lastly, as you graduate high school, you'll have to submit your final high school transcript, of course, to verify that you did indeed graduate. And then, of course, that you've kept up your grades throughout your senior year. So a lot happening in the senior year, but again, making that organizational chart up front will really help you be prepared, meet all your deadlines, and move through this process as smoothly as possible, and having that as a resource. And then, of course, outside of all of these things and preparing yourself, do reach out to different areas of support and resources that are available to you, no matter where you sit in your high school experience. College admissions counselors like ourselves absolutely love what we do, and we are here to support you. There's no such thing as a bad question. If you're not sure where to start or what kinds of questions to ask, or really where to begin, we are happy to be here for you, to support you, to answer those questions. Rather you are going to join us at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we'd absolutely love to have you. But if you just need support navigating the college process, you can reach out to us as well. We're happy to be a resource for you as you navigate everything that's available to you. Your high school, college, and guidance counselors are also a phenomenal resource that are available to you. Really do ask questions about their college experience, different options you have. They can help you organize everything you need for your applications. No matter what it is, they usually have some skills in being able to help you navigate these opportunities. So definitely don't hesitate to use them as a resource. As I mentioned prior, your teachers can be some of your best advocates and resources as you prepare for college. They can help you navigate your opportunities, really inspire you towards areas that help you grow in your interests and talent throughout high school, and really be a great resource throughout that high school experience. And then, of course, different mentors that you might have, definitely lean on them for support as well. Whether this is a pre-college program, maybe an after-school program, or extracurricular activity you're a part of, those that are mentoring you and supporting you throughout your high school experience. Maybe it's a family member, a cousin that's in college, whatever it is, lean on them for support and resources. If you have questions, ask them, as much as you can. There's no such thing as a bad question, and advocating for yourself is so important in really securing those opportunities that are out there for you. And then last but not least, something to consider is reaching out to a financial aid advisor. Often when people are considering schools and colleges, they'll think of the admissions office and admissions counselors like ourselves, but our financial aid advisors really have a lot of great resources in helping you navigate just financing college, really getting through the FAFSA, different questions that you might have regarding that, funding opportunities, financial wellness, but they also have a general knowledge about the college preparation application process, or could refer you to those that can help support you best. Again, there's a lot of individuals out here that are happy to support you, so definitely don't hesitate to call, email, chat, join different information sessions and educational opportunities like this at different schools and colleges. Again, we all love what we do, and we're so excited to support you and help you on your college journey, so definitely don't hesitate to use us as a resource. All right, so that is the key information we have today for Sett for Success. This particular organizational presentation was just to highlight some of that initial exploration in college, really geared towards those that are early in their high school experience and early in their college search. This is part of a larger pathway of Sett for college. So after this, we do have, ideally in your junior year, as you're moving into your college list, Setting Sights is our program that really talks about the nuances of figuring out what college is the best fit for you and has that pathway and foundation. We also have our Set to Apply program that'll help you navigate the different components of a college application, how to create a strong application as a whole. And then if you decide to apply to us at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we do have our Badger Bound program in the fall, which will dive into the specific resources and opportunities we offer to help you grow in really ways that you can take advantage of our campus community. So all of these are resources that are available to you virtually if and when we're able to move into a physical space again post-COVID. Ideally, we'll be able to offer some in-person opportunities there as well. So with that, you can use the chat feature at the bottom. I see some of you have submitted some questions that Sally has been replying to. Thank you so much for addressing those. But any additional questions that you have, feel free to submit those. I can answer those as well as my colleague, and we'll be able to just address anything that comes to mind, anything I covered, anything I didn't. Again, no such thing as a bad question.
Actually, Street, I'm wondering if you want to answer this one live, the one that's open.
Yes. Okay. So the question that we have is if because of COVID, this student has signed up for their school's cyber school this year instead of being in person, of course, for safety reasons. During the college admissions process, will this be held against you, or will online schools be judged the same? So we've always had applicants from online schools, even applicants who are homeschooled, or maybe have different unique high school experiences. So at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we're well equipped to work with students no matter what your high school experience has looked like. Most schools and colleges will have a level of statement regarding COVID, how that shaped the high school experience for a lot of individuals and how they're navigating that. Most students to some degree have engaged in virtual learning this year, so you're not alone. It's more common than you'd realize. Applicants we've had this year and applicants we're going to have for the next few years are going to have some virtual experience. The biggest thing that we ask of your high school counselors that are submitting your information to us is just let us know if anything's changed. Most schools have had a wide variety of responses, rather that's creating the same curriculum online. Nothing has changed in terms of expectations or materials that's submitted. But if anything is shifted from their typical grading scale or typical expectations in their class, just letting us know so we know how to evaluate that. At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we do read in the context of your high school. So we look at your grading scale, what those classes offered, and what you took advantage of within your respective high school. Every school and college might be different. But again, the biggest thing is just communicating to us if there's any differences. The biggest differences we've typically seen in just this year, the first year of applicants that have had this experience, is some schools move to pass fail rather than their A through F or whatever scale that they're on. There's a lot out there. So that's just good for us to know. So we're not looking for you to have letter grades or different types of grading scales. We just know it was pass fail given that context. So that just lets us know, and then we're just looking for students who pass those classes and paying attention to your remarks from your teachers to get a sense of how you were doing in those classes. But it shouldn't negatively impact you overall in your application process. We're all well aware of the unique circumstances this year's provided for all of us, but especially you all high school students with your resilience in adjusting to such a new format with COVID. So we're definitely not counting that against you. Again, just letting us know of what the changes may have been so we can review you in that proper context is just helpful for us to be able to get a better sense of your high school experience or how things shifted for you given COVID. But again, long way to say it shouldn't impact you, but if you do have questions for your different schools and colleges, definitely feel free to reach out to them. They usually have a clearer sense of what they are doing to address that in the process. But I can confidently tell you here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we definitely aren't going to have that negatively impact you. And it shouldn't in other schools and colleges. But if there are any shifts, usually they post that on their website, or you can reach out to them directly as you do build that college list. But most are prepared to deal with students who've done virtual capacities. Other questions that you all have? Again, no such thing as a bad question. Well, I'll let you all have an opportunity to type any additional questions that you have. But in the meantime, I will highlight, as I mentioned before, we do have a lot of virtual events to support you throughout your college search process. as well as opportunities to learn more about our specific schools and colleges, the University of Wisconsin-Madison as a whole, or even student panels where you can talk with our current students too. So this can be a great way to explore your college options, get a sense of what's out there, and even learn more about our institution as well. When you did sign up for this event, you would have registered through Visit Bucky. All of those other events are listed within that portal, so feel free to check those out and sign up for as many as you'd like. We expect to continue doing virtual in some capacity as we even move out of COVID. So again, you can join us virtually in the future. And as we move into in-person, we'd love to welcome you to campus when it's safest to do so. So keep an eye out for those opportunities as things progress over time. But at this point, we're just doing virtual. Our website is listed here, as well as our email and phone number. Again, us as admissions counselors, we're so excited and happy to support you throughout your college experience. So definitely don't hesitate to email us, call us, send us a chat, whatever it is. We're happy to be a resource of support for you. Then you can get acquainted on our social media as well. Use our hashtag FutureBadger to connect with other students who are considering the University of Wisconsin-Madison as well. We have another question that came in. So the question was if there's any other steps we'd recommend for an out-of-state junior interested in Wisconsin before applying this fall. We definitely look at our out-of-state students the same that we do with our Wisconsin residents in terms of really looking for you to be dynamically prepared. When it comes to your academics, as I mentioned before, the more rigor you can take in as many core academic areas, that'll help you be more competitive. So English, math, science, history, foreign language. It definitely doesn't have to be all of those, but really seeing you have that strong breadth and depth academically will help you be more competitive. But we do look at students holistically. So even beyond those academics, we are test optional this year and for the next 2 years through spring 2023 and potentially longer after that's reevaluated. So you definitely don't need to have a strong test score in particular, but if you want to submit one, you're welcome to do so if you think it'll add to your application. But overall, we're looking for students who are really passionate about their areas of interest, want to make a positive impact, not just in our campus community, but their areas of interest. Your essays are a great place to shine in your application to really highlight what you're interested in exploring, or if you have a major in mind, what opportunities you want to take advantage of at UW-Madison. We really want to see students who've got a sense of our campus community and how they'd like to contribute and really be a part of that environment. We really do value students who want to take their knowledge of our campus community and make a positive impact. So touching on those qualities really can help you shine in your application and get a sense of what being a Badger here at UW-Madison will mean to you. But overall, it's really just preparing every aspect of your application and advocating for yourself as best as you can. Any circumstances that could have impacted you in high school, do highlight those, as it does allow us some context to really understand your high school experience. But overall, those are great ways to prepare your application. If you are a junior, you may benefit from our Setting Sights program that can dive a little bit more into your college search process, but it sounds like a particular great program for you is Sett to Apply. We have this coming up later this spring where we'll dive into each of the components of the college application and ways that you can present those strongly. So if you're thinking about how to shine in your essays, letters of recommendation, all of those pieces, we'll touch on that in Sett to Apply. So do feel free to join us then, and we'll dive a little bit more into that nuance as well. But again, just really advocating for yourself, highlighting all the phenomenal things you've accomplished in high school, and to really prepare and show what you'll bring to our campus community. Any last questions that you all have? All right. Well, again, our information's here. Feel free to join us for future events, but thank you so much for joining us on a Saturday morning. It was great to connect with you all, provide hopefully great resources as you begin your college search process. And again, feel free to join us for future events, but I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. And thank you so much for being here.